So I'm going to get started, and we're going to start talking about today's lesson. So in sustainable art, we've talked a lot about recycling and being good to the environment. And what are some things that we've picked up on during this time? Have you guys done anything to incorporate that to your day-to-day life? How about the way we at least think about, at least the things that we use day to day? We've used a lot of recycled objects. Have you guys reused any material? Well, I definitely know I was being more mindful. I think it's really important to use the material that we have. And so in the gardening I've been doing, I've been reusing a lot of material and giving it new purpose. Yeah. But today we're going to talk about something a little out of the box, and we're going to use river stones, something that you just maybe collect on your own. They're small, they're round, they're a lot of fun. But we're going to make some of them today. And that's what the lesson name is called, Positive Vibes. We have our rocks, right? They're small, they feel good in your hands. You want to show me your rocks? But we're going to make these more personal with positive vibes, and that means positive thoughts. What do positive thoughts mean to you guys? What do you think? What's a positive thought? You have a positive thought that you like to think about?
My family.
Family, that is a good positive thought. About Alex and Kylie, what's a positive thought for you?
What's a positive thought to you?
Were the galaxy jars last week pretty positive? They brought you a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty positive. The things that we make can be positive thoughts and make us feel good inside. Positive thoughts are not just limited to having certain things that make you happy, it's actions that make you happy as well. And being in that mindset is really important because it makes not only our brains healthy, but it can make our bodies healthy as well. And the way we act with people changes depending on how we see the world and how we look at it. And then, of course, there's negative thoughts. Negative thoughts do happen, but that's okay. It's important that we learn to be able to express those to the people around us, especially people who really care about us and want to know these thoughts. And supporting each other is very, very important. And while we discuss positive thoughts and negative thoughts, it's also tying together into something called cognitive therapy. And cognitive therapy is a type of mental health where it helps replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And we practice this physically by doing positive vibes on these very small stones. Even though they're small, we can set small reminders to ourselves of things that make us happy and make us feel good. And so today we're going to focus on painting on our rocks, things that make us happy. And it will be up to you what kind of design. I encourage writing words to yourself, maybe be kind or sunshine, things that make you feel really positive. And you can also do imagery. I know I've done a ray of sunshine, rainbows are really awesome. Or things that you forward to. And so today you should have at least 4 colors. My colors today are yellow, cyan, red, and
yellow. We have literally all the colors. Yeah. We have Mod Podge, we have cyan, red, yellow, magenta, black, brown, orange, purple, dark blue, light blue, red, glow in the dark paint.
Oh, you want some glow in the dark paint? Feel free to gather old paints you have if you want to add it to the lesson.
Yeah, those are all.
Here it is. I see it. And so we're going to start with one rock. And you should have a paper plate in your lesson bin. You're gonna have it set down, put your rocks on it. And you're gonna make the other side your palette. So you don't have to take out all your paint. If anything, the wells of this are very nifty to keep them as the primary paint source. And you take out the color you need and put it on your plate to mix it together to make new colors. All right, so my fellow friends, start mixing the colors that you want to see before you start painting on your rocks. And after, we're going to do one rock at a time because it takes time for the paint to dry. And I want to encourage very thin layers. I'm going to demonstrate how to do a thin layer on this first rock because I want a blue background because I really like the color blue. I don't know if you can tell from my sweater today, but I'm a blue kind of person.
That is a blue person.
And so you can see I have a fair amount of paint that's not all over. And we're going to take it to the rock.
What color do you want?
I want pink. I like the color pink.
You see the background of the rock a little bit, and that's okay. The thinner the layer, the better it will dry for us, because at the end, we need to be able to cover it in Mod Podge without ruining our paint. While I let the base layer of my first rock dry, I'm going to start doing the base layer of my next.
Good thing we have a lot of like these things.
I'm using a small paintbrush first to do my mixing because it covers a little bit better. But I'm going to demonstrate a technique called pointillism, which is a type of painting style that you mix dots. And that is particularly why we have these wonderful Q-tips. You should have at least 4. And I'm going to go back to my first rock and do some pointillism. I want to emphasize our positive vibes don't have to be words itself, it could be imagery. Imagery is a little abstracted. And positive things don't need to come in a guaranteed format that we're all familiar with. It can be a little strange. So today, I'm gonna stipple together my magenta and my yellow, and I'm gonna do some dots. I'll start with lightly dabbing in my Q-tip. Pretty bright, but it's barely covered at the top. And I'm going to do an arrangement of dots onto my stone. And I'm going to do what's called a radial pattern. So radial, if we remember what our jellyfish lesson was about, means circular, right? And so we're going to go around. Make some dots. And you'll dip it back in lightly, like we did before, to refill and reload your Q-tip. And I'm going to continue doing my radial pattern as I see fit.
How do you make black with the colors of the rainbow?
So we have all of our primary colors.
Yeah.
Cyan, yellow, and magenta. That is part of the scientific color.
Yeah, the primary colors are cyan, magenta, yellow, and black.
Black can be created through cyan, magenta, and yellow.
Yeah, but how do you make it?
So it's the key balance to taking all 3 of these colors and combining them together on your plate. It'll have to be a little more of either the magenta or the cyan to make it darker, but it's key to also have yellow in it to darken the tone. It might come out a little brownish with these pigments, but it'll be as close to black the more you either go with the cyan or the magenta.
Ooh, pretty.
Mine is one of my favorite stories growing up. It was called The Very Hungry Caterpillar and had a lot of texture to it.
Uh-huh.
All right, my hello should be done. Filled in as much as I could.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Ew. The O is kind of falling off the edge, but that's all right. I feel like that's very common when you handwrite things. You start really, really big, and you're like, oh no, running out of room.
Yeah.
Key part now is that you're going to take your Mod Podge. Mod Podge is a type of glue,
Use this color.
but it's a glue that should dry clear. So I have my beautiful radial pattern. It's dry. I'm going to seal it in so it stays in for a good while. You're going to dip your brush into Mod Podge, and you're going to apply a similar kind of layer like we did with the paint, and
I
do it
also want to do it pink.
onto your rock. You want to make sure it doesn't cake up in certain areas so you can still see your pattern. But it's semi-opaque for a moment until it dries thoroughly. You'll see how it's cloudy, and that's okay. It will clear up after you're finished.
Mm-hmm.
Do show and
You
tell.
got that down.
So I'm going to let Sammy go first.
My alarm.
You have a lovely day, okay?
Okay, bye.